Hello students, today we are going to start with section 4 unit 4.1, that is history of English drama. Till your 10th standard you all have studied what is prose and poetry. Now a new section has been added to your text, that is drama. Here through this particular unit you will come to know what is drama, what are the types of drama, what are elements of drama, then you will come to know what is one act play. A detailed study about drama is given in this particular unit. So let's see. How dramatic you are is your response when a friend exaggerates or overreacts. It means you are correctly using the adjective form of the word drama. Here usually it happens, children, when any one of your friend he speaks or behaves very unusually. So we use a phrase for our friend that how dramatic you are. So here they want to tell you that you are using this particular adjective form of this word drama very correctly here, because drama is a performance which is essentially loud, exaggerate and larger than life. It is an audio-visual medium. Here, drama is an audio-visual medium. Why? Here we can hear what the person is speaking, what the artist or the actor or actress is speaking, and we can also see them performing. The audience sitting around in front of or close to or in the last row of the theatre should be able to hear and see the actor on the stage. When the artists are performing on the stage in drama, so the audience who are sitting around means first there was an open, earlier times it used to be an open you can say area where drama used to be performed on the stage, and all from all the three sides rows were there where the audience used to sit. Now we have enclosed halls and all. So we sit in front of the stage and see, or sometimes what happen, the people who are sitting close to or in the last row, wherever you are sitting and watching the drama here, that you should be able to hear what the artists are speaking on the stage. For example, a stage whisper is far louder than a whisper in real life. Means whisper means what? To speak very slowly, which only the person to whom we are speaking, that person should be able to hear. But here when you are whispering on the stage here, at that time you have to see to it that it should be heard by the audience. So that whisper should be also very loud. This would be an example of willing suspension of disbelief. Means to believe in unreal. You know that whatever is story, whatever is going on the stage, they are just performing. It is not real or it is not logical. But still what happened, we tend to believe whatever is going on the stage here. We feel connected to them emotionally, mentally, and we start feeling for the character. If the character is suffering, we feel bad for the character. If the character is winning, we feel happy with the character. So whatever emotional state they are going through, that we feel along with them. So it is willing suspension of disbelief. Means we really believe what is unreal here. We don't it is, you can say, it is just for the sake of enjoyment. You can say we like to believe in them, we like to believe in their character, we like to believe in their story. It can be defined as a willing to accept the unreal. It may also mean sacrifice of realism and logic for the sake of enjoyment. We know that whatever is going on is unreal. It is not logical. Still we tend to believe them and we get connected with them. The term was coined by the poet, aesthetic philosopher Samuel T. Coleridge. The term often applies fictional works of the action, comedy, fantasy and horror genre. Genres means kind. Here drama can be of fantasy, horror, comedy and action. It refers to willingness of the audience to overlook the limitations of the medium here. Here drama, earlier times they were not. Now we have you can say screens, and accordingly you can say according to the scene, the you can say surrounding is there, the character plays the costume according to that and all. But earlier times it was not like that, but still the audience used to enjoy the performance of the artist on the stage. Drama is a medium of expression whereby performers express themselves artistically. The performance is based on the script which is in the form of dialogue, whereas a story or a novel is written in the narrative form. Now, here they have told you what is drama. It is a medium of expression whereby performance they express artistically through dialogues. Whatever dialogues are written for them, whichever character's role they are playing, accordingly they speak those dialogue. That is known as what? Drama. On the other hand, a story or a novel, it is written in narrative form. The reader just reads and try to imagine in mind what is written. This one you have to keep in mind, student, because later on in your you can say exercise here below this lesson, here they have asked you what is the difference between drama and novel. So you should know, you will write this one, that drama, it is a medium of expression whereby performers express themselves artistically, and the performance is based on script which is in dialogue form, whereas story or novel is in narrative form. You have to keep in mind. Later on they have asked you to differentiate between drama and poetry also. Same thing. This particular sentence for drama you will write as explanation for that, and you will write poetry is a language expressed in rhythm and meter. Here you use rhyming words, rhyme scheme is used here. So that type of writing is known as what? Poetry. Drama is specific mode of fiction represented in performance. Means drama is performed and showed to the audience, whereas novel or story is in written form. Here the reader reads it. A play, opera, mime, ballet are performed in theatre, on radio or on television. Now these types of drama like a play, opera, here the words are not used, only music and actions are there. Mime is same thing. Ballad, the story is told here in the form of a song. So all these are performed in a theatre or on radio or on television. I hope you have understood this. After that, they have given you an explanation of what is drama. Drama is a composition in a verse or a prose to be acted on the stage. Here the actor or actresses, a verse is given, a dialogue is given here, and they accordingly act on the stage. Related by the means of dialogues and action, and is represented with accompanying gesture, means their expressions, how the character are expressing themselves according to the dialogue. If they are speaking something very sadistic, then accordingly they have tears in their eyes, their speech will be like that. Or if it is a joyful moment, then accordingly the expression will be very happy, they will speak in a very joyful tone and all. Then the costume, according to the scene they wear the costume. The scenery as in real life, means if the scene is related to any family background or family drama is there, so a house will be shown where family members are sitting or doing speaking something and all. If it is a hospital, so that particular scene will be played there. So accordingly, to make the audience connected to the particular scene, they use the scenery and all. After that, drama is they have given the definition of drama by M.H. Abrams. Here, drama is a composition designed for performance in theatre in which actors take the roles of a character. Means one actor will take role of a particular character, and he will play that particular character's role with the help of a dialogue. Perform and the indicated action and utter the written dialogue. This is the answer for what is drama, and this is definition. This you will have to learn. It is very important. Afterwards, the elements of drama. Now the elements of drama are of 7 types, like plot, characterization, dialogue, setting, stage direction, conflict and theme. We are going to see each you can say element in detail. See here, first one, plot. What is plot? Plot is the series of events occurring in a play. Means the plan, the scheme or the pattern. It has beginning, middle and end. Means whatever events are going to take place in the play are known as what? Plot. First what will happen at the beginning, then in middle what will happen, then at the end what will happen. That is known as what? Plot. Character. The most important element of the drama is character. Here, through this character, we come to know what is the drama about, whom the drama is going to, for whom this drama is taking place here. The protagonist is the main character of the play. Means you can say the protagonist means the hero of the play. And here in the drama, we also have antagonist, means the person who is opposite to the protagonist, means the hero. He is the villain of the play, you can say here. So in the drama, the two major characters are the protagonist and the antagonist, means the hero and the villain. The other characters are major characters or minor character, means the who are related to the main hero of the play. The major characters or minor characters, static characters or flat characters. Static and flat characters are the same, means they don't have any significant role to play in the story here, in the drama here. They are just means like a father, a protagonist mother or father who is dead. They are, you can say, their photo frame will be hanging on the wall, something like that. Their role is not, you can say, very significant here. So like that, there are some static or flat characters. Some are, you can say, dynamic or round character. Dynamic or round character here means they play a very significant role, very important role in the drama. These characters are known as what? Dynamic or round characters. Now characterization. Now they have also asked you what is the difference between character and characterization. So you should know characters here means the protagonist, the antagonist, the major character, the minor character, flat character, round character, like that. But characterization here means the things, it means to reveal peculiarities of the characters, means about them. What is their character in the, what is you can say their role in the story here. That means characterization. We gain insight into their personality and establish connection with them. We come to know about the character. What is the story of the character here? Around him only the story takes turns here. So that is known as what? Characterization. How it is, how important is the role of the protagonist or the antagonist in the story. That is known as what? Characterization. Then dialogue. It invokes two speakers. We all know when we are having a dialogue with someone, we need two speakers. In drama also different characters have dialogue with each other. Other than that, it is dialogue. Drama can also be a monologue, means where the, you can say, the character speaks to oneself. That is known as what? Monologue. Then soliloquy. Here the character's thought process is expressed aloud, means whatever the character is thinking in its mind, that is being heard by the audience. That is known as what? Soliloquy. It reveals the nature of the character, means if the character, means a positive character, you can say, is thinking about something good for someone, that is been revealed in the drama here loudly. Or if the, you can say, antagonist is something, thinking any negative thing in the mind, that is being heard by the audience and gives information about his relation. After that, stage direction. Performance of the actors during the course of development of the story, along with the use of set, lighting, music and costume. Means the stage direction is usually, you can say, a guideline or suggestion given by a dramatist. The person who has written the drama, he gives guidelines or suggestions to the actor or actresses. He tells them where to sit on the stage, where to stand on the stage, how to use the props of the which are kept on the stage, how to enter the stage, how to exit from the stage, when to enter the stage, when to exit from the stage. All these guidelines are given by the you can say dramatist, that is known as what, stage direction. Here the actor or actresses, they come to know how to perform on the stage. Now other important element of drama is conflict. It is said as the essence of drama, that is the main thing of drama here. Now usually in a drama, as I told you, there are two major characters here, that is the protagonist, the hero of the character, and antagonist, the you can say evil character, or the you can say villain of the character. So whatever the story is based on them only. Here whatever they are, you can say two, you can say forceful people here around whom the story take around here. So you can say that is the essence of drama, and that only how the evil character or the villain tries to cause harm to the protagonist, and how the protagonist tries to overcome, and all that is only been shown in the drama. So that is why this conflict, whatever that is going on between the protagonist and antagonist, that is known as what, conflict of the drama. It enlightens life. Means it makes the audience feel drama very interesting. They want to see the protagonist winning, and they want to see the antagonist suffering. It grants dignity and worth to human life. Through this, the people come to know that usually at the end what happens, the person who does good, he wins, and the person who does bad things or causes harm to others, he has to suffer, or his life is ruined at the end. So that is known as what, conflict. Then the theme, that is the main idea or point of the play. We come to know through theme, whether it is love drama, whether it is horror drama, whether it is action drama, whether it is comedy drama, whether it is you can say tragedy drama. That is the theme of the drama. I hope you have understood the elements of drama in detail. You will get question, right, like what are the elements of the drama. You have to write the names here. What are the elements of drama? If they ask you write in detail about the elements of drama, then you will have to write in detail about each particular element. I hope you have understood this in detail. After that, after these elements of drama, now the four closely related areas of focus, or means in a drama where you have to pay attention to, the main four things are the scene. What is the scene about? Whether it is joyful moment, sadistic moment, serious moment, that you have to know. The audience who are going to watch the drama, the character who is playing role of the particular character, the person who what is the character here, whether the character is, you can say, in a joyful mood, whether the character is whether the character is suffering lot in the drama and all, and who is playing the role of that particular character here, whether that person, whether that artist will be able to perform according to the character here, he will get into the character or not, that you have to see. Now these are after going to this unit, they want you to understand and identify drama as a genre of literature, means a kind of literature. They want you to know what is drama. They want you to learn definition of drama. They want you to differentiate between drama and other forms of literature. As I told you, they have at the end of this particular topic, they have asked you what is difference between drama and poetry, drama and you can say novel. What is the difference between drama and other forms of literature, that they one act play, that they have asked you. Then I have explained to you all basic elements of drama in detail. Now we are going to see types of drama. Now drama is of mainly three types, that is tragedy, comedy and tragic comedy. Tragedy always has you can say unhappy ending. Here the protagonist goes through a lot of suffering in the drama here. Here the protagonist has to you can say suffer a lot in the drama, and at the end also he dies or something bad happens to that person, and and when we as an audience, when we are watching that drama, we also feel very bad for them. It has an unhappy ending, so that is known as what? Tragedy drama. Then after that, comedy. Comedy drama always has an you can say happy ending. Here the tone of the drama is usually, you can say, a satirical tone, and the characters are mainly in a joyful mood. Here you can also say the character is always in a sadistic mood. They have asked you what is the difference between tragedy and comedy. So here you can say it has unhappy ending, it has happy ending. Here the characters are always in a sadistic mood. Here the characters are always in a joyful mood. Then here you can say the events which are taking place in a tragedy drama are very sorrowful and sadistic one. Here the events which are take place, or the theme of that particular drama is of a joyful mood. Here whatever is being told to you all is always the person, they try to make you laugh and all. Then tragedy comedy. Tragic comedy is a blend of tragedy and comedy. Here the audience are made to cry as well as laugh in the drama. Here sometimes what happens, here you can say it is a serious drama which is being told in a satirical or in a comedy tone here, so that the person laughingly also the person try to understand the you can say the reality of life. So these are the types of drama. The comedy drama is further divided into, or the further more types of comedy drama are romantic comedy, sentimental comedy, classical comedy, comedy of humor, and comedy of manners. This I have explained to you all the elements of drama. After that, we'll start with short history of drama. Now, introduction of English drama, how the drama came into existence. Drama has its origin in the folk theatre. We therefore cannot consider drama merely as a part of literature. Here they want to tell you that drama has its origin in the folk theatre. Folk theatre means what? Earlier days, when there were no television, no radio station, or no, you can say amphitheaters, or no halls and all, nothing was there. Still at that time drama existed. Your folk theatre means what? That time the you can say artists used to perform religious drama. Religious you can say verses or stories were being enacted by the artists for the people to understand it. We therefore cannot consider drama merely as a part of literature. Means, so that's why we cannot tell that it is a part of literature, because earlier also it existed. Words are the medium of literature. Means literature here means what? Novel, story, poetry. To express the particular story here, to express the particular theme here, the writer uses words as a medium here. But drama is a multiple art, using words, scenic effects, music, gestures of the actors, and the organizing talents of a producer. But here what they want to tell you, drama is different from that. Drama is very different from poetry, novel, or story here, because it not only uses word as a medium, but it uses scenic effects, music, gesture, means expressions of the actors, and the organizing talents of the producer or dramatist, you can say. Now a dramatist, a person who wants his drama to be performed here on the stage, should have players, means the actors or actresses, a stage where the drama will be performed, and the audience. These are known as what? Three unities of the drama. The beginning of drama in England are obscure, means it is very uncertain. We don't have detailed information about it. We are not sure about it, that how drama began in England. There is an evidence to believe that when Romans were in England, they established vast amphitheatres for the production of plays. Now, it is being said that when the Romans were in England, they had established vast amphitheatres. Amphitheatre means what? A circular or oval area around which rows of seats are arranged on a steep slope for watching plays, sports, etc. That is outdoor. It is an open area for production of plays. But when Romans departed, their theatre also departed with them. Means, but when Romans left England, their theatres were also departed. Now, then there were minstrels. Minstrels means what? Traveling musician, singer, common between 11th and 15th century. That is known as what? Minstrel. We have no musicians and singers. They travel and perform for the people. So this that existed at the time of 11th or 15th century. People enjoyed their performances a lot. Gradually, by 10th century, a ritual of plays that itself had something dramatic in it got extended into rudiments of plays. Means rudiments here means the simplest or you can say the most basic facts about the subject or activity. Means you have to tell that particular theme or show that theme to the audience in a very simple way. That started here. Between 13th to 14th and 14th century, drama started having themes which were separated from religion. Earlier we had only morality plays related to religion and all, but now the theme started changing. The words themselves were spoken in English. A longer dramatic script came into use. Earlier what happened? The Romans used to use their language, or you can say a language for, you can say words from the Bible and all were being used in the drama for the morality plays and all. But now simple English words were used and simple themes were used in the drama. And they were called as miracle plays. Later, this religious drama were the morality plays in which characters were abstract vices and virtues. Earlier we had morality plays like the religious drama based on religious theme and all, where they try to convey to the audience that if the person does something good, the virtuous character, if he does something good, he will in turn get good. But if the wise character is there, if he is doing something wrong, he will get wrong. So these were the allegories. Here means what? These people, you can say figures, the actors or actresses were trying to play the role of virtue and vices to make the audience understand about it in the morality plays. After that, Elizabethan and Restoration drama. These secular morality plays have direct links with the Elizabethan plays. Means earlier we had Elizabethan plays. In her era, Elizabethan era, here we had morality plays and all. The Renaissance imposed a learned tradition, classical in depth with themes of education, general moral problems and secular politics. But in the Renaissance period, when there was Renaissance period, after that what happened? We had a learned tradition. Means very educated people were there in the society. They had logical thinking mindset here. So based on that, the dramas were being played. They had general dealing with general moral problems of the people, or you can say related to the politics prevailing at that time. The plays had nothing to do with religion. There were examples of both comedy and tragedy. Thomas Kite, Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare are the prime dramatists of this era. It was Kite who discovered how easily blank words might be converted into useful theoretical media, which Shakespeare used brilliantly in all his plays. Now, here Kite was the person who made everyone understand just how a blank verse can be made into a more dramatic form and shown to the audience, and how they will like it. And Shakespeare used this in a very brilliantly in all his plays. Tragedy developed in the hands of Kite and Marlowe. Comedy has also proceeded beyond rustic humor, means beyond village life and all. But by the 19th or 16th century, the theatre in England was fully established, but complicated conditions governed the activities of the dramatists. Means they were in control of some higher authorities. They could not just show anything here on the stage. The public theatre of 16th century differed in many important ways from the modern theatre. It was open to sky, but how we have now modern theatre which is an enclosed one and all. But earlier in 16th century the theatre was of different type. It was open to sky with without artificial lightning. Now as we have enclosed hall here, so because of that we require artificial lightning if you want to say show daylight scene, or if you want to show night scene and all, something like that. But now, but at that time as it was open to sky, they did not require any artificial lightning. The stage was raised platform with recess at the back supported by pillars. Nothing was there at the back of the stage also. They were just raised pillars there, 4 to 5 pillars behind the stage here. There were no curtains. How in the enclosed hall we have curtains in front of the stage here, but that time there were no curtains, there was no back supporting to the stage here, nothing like that. The main platform could be surrounded three sides by the audience. They were on the ones first main the stage was there, and three sides of the stage were surrounded by the rows, you can say, where the audience could sit and watch the drama. Around the theatre there were galleries. In the 17th century, the enclosed theatre gained importance. After that, but in 17th century what happened? Enclosed theatre came into existence. There was increasing attention to the scenic device as the theatre became private. As now it was enclosed one, so the dramatist had to pay more attention to the scenic device according to the particular scene. He has to see how to create the visual effect for the audience. After that, Shakespearean era came into existence in the 16th century to the public theatre. Means he wrote many dramas at that time. He wrote for the contemporary theatre. Contemporary means what? Which existed at that particular time. Manipulating the Elizabethan stage with the great resource and invention. Manipulating means what? Trying to control and all the stage which existed at that time, in the Elizabethan time. The genius of Shakespeare should not allow the rest of the drama of his age to be obscured, means too difficult for the people to understand. Contemporary to him was Ben Jonson, a classicist, a moralist and a reformer of drama. Means like him also another, you can say, a well-known writer, Ben Jonson, was there, who wrote many drama at that time. In comedy, Jonson's genius is found at its best, and his influence was considerable. He had written very famous comedy drama. The Restoration dramatists leaned strongly upon him. The dramatists who were there at the time of Restoration period, they mainly relied on Jonson. I'll stop now. In my next lecture, I will continue with the same particular unit. Thank you.